All right, let's get right into it. If you think you know what makes a currency go up or down, well, you might want to think again. The old rulebook has been completely tossed out the window. We're living in a brand new era for money. And the things that drive exchange rates today are, frankly, not what they used to be. Not that long ago, it was all pretty straightforward. Your old economics textbook would tell you it was all about interest rates, economic growth, trade balances, all that stuff. But today, it's a totally different ballgame. We're in a world where currencies can swing wildly because of a war, a new alliance, or even just certain keywords trending online. The old math just doesn't add up anymore. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This is the new reality. It's not about which country has the best quarterly report. No, it's about where capital, where money feels safe. Money is literally sniffing out anxiety, and it's flowing based on fear, on emotion, on the geopolitical temperature of the planet. It's wild to say, but anxiety has become the world's most valuable commodity. So that's the big question, isn't it? What on earth happened? How did this system, which seemed to work for decades, just break? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It turns out it was two massive, and I mean massive, game-changing forces that have completely rewired global finance. And here they are, the two culprits, fear and data. Or if we want to be a bit more formal, we're talking about the massive comeback of geopolitics and the absolute dominance of super-fast, algorithm-driven data. So let's break down each of these new drivers. First up, the alliance factor. For a long time, money was like a free agent. It would go absolutely anywhere in the world to get the highest return. That era, it's over. Now, security is everything. Capital wants to stay within trusted circles, these geopolitical clubs where you know the rules and you trust your partners. At the end of the day, trust is now worth way more than a few extra points on an interest rate. And this right here is a huge reason why the US dollar is still so dominant. You always hear about the Fed and interest rates, but it's so much bigger than that now. The dollar's real strength is that it's seen as the official currency of security, of being aligned with the US and its allies. Holding dollars is like speaking the global language of financial safety. Okay, now for the second driver, the speed factor. You know those official economic reports that governments release? By the time we see them, they're practically ancient history. Why? Because AI trading systems are scanning everything, and I mean everything, in real time. We're talking about satellite images that count the number of trucks at a port, or algorithms that track how many times words like sanctions are being used on Twitter. The market already knows what's happening and has placed its bets long before a central banker even walks to the microphone. So, this gives us a whole new way to think about this. An exchange rate isn't like a thermometer anymore, slowly giving you the temperature of a country's economic health. Nope, that's obsolete. Today, it's a barometer. It's giving you an instant reading of global pressure, telling you if a financial storm is brewing right now, this very second. Now, I know this can all sound a bit theoretical, so let's make it real. Let's look at a perfect case study of a currency that is living this new reality every single day, the South Korean won. Just look at what's really pulling the strings for the won these days. You'd think it would be announcements from the Bank of Korea, right? But more often than not, it's these outside forces. A news headline about tensions in the Taiwan Strait or another missile test from North Korea can send the currency moving far more than any local economic data. The health of China's economy and the policy of the US Fed, those are the real puppet masters here. So what this means is that the won has stopped being a simple report card for South Korea's own very impressive economy. Instead, it's become this kind of geopolitical pendulum, swinging back and forth between the massive gravitational pull of its security ally, the US, and its biggest trading partner, China. Its value is basically a real-time gauge of the tension between those two giants. And here's the thing. The story of the won isn't some isolated case. It's a preview of the future. So if exchange rates aren't about simple economics anymore, what do they even represent? Well, this whole shift is revealing a profound new world order, one built on a totally different foundation.
Okay, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Today, an exchange rate is a live, fluctuating trust score. It's a measure of the world's faith in a country's entire system. Is it stable? Is its government predictable? Is the information it puts out transparent and reliable? Those are the questions global capital is asking, and the exchange rate is the answer.
And this means that defending your currency isn't just a job for your central bank anymore. The new defense strategy is all about trust. You need three things: transparent information that people can rely on,
stable diplomacy so you're a predictable partner, and consistent policies at home. It's kind of wild, but having a trust policy has become way more powerful than just having a monetary policy.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. In this new era, security speaks louder than economic data. And having access to instant, reliable information is a more powerful asset than a vault full of gold. That right there is the new hierarchy of what matters in the global financial system. And all of this leaves us with one final, critical question. In a world where money follows anxiety and moves at the speed of data, the ultimate competition is no longer about which economy is the biggest. It's about which currency, and the nation behind it, is the most trustworthy. The answer to that question is what will define the entire next chapter of global finance.